And you're watching Sporting Icons.
Right, so April the 11th at the O2 Arena, Daniel Dubois will take on Joe Joyce, two undefeated prospects. I mean, Daniel Dubois is definitely a prospect, but due to the age of Joe Joyce, could you call him a prospect? I mean, technically, he doesn't have that many pro fights. But either way, these guys coming together for a clash, and it is a risk-all kind of fight. Now, Frank Warren, he's written his column where he says that already the O2 Arena have sold 9,500 tickets. So that's about half of the arena already. Now, I don't want to say that's unheard of, but it's uncommon for a Frank Warren show to do that many tickets. Because usually outside of, say, the Josh Warrington at the Ellen Road and things like that, usually he would put on shows at, say, maybe the Royal Albert Hall or the Copper Box Arena. So they're usually quite small, compact. But this one is really growing some legs. It really is. I mean, considering that Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce, not exactly extrovert characters, but they're certainly doing something right with these two guys. I think a lot of people are really looking at this fight with a lot of interest. People want to be there. People want to be there and watch it live. Now, I know a lot of people are drawing comparison to when Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua, when these guys fought. And in my opinion, absolutely correct to draw the comparisons between the two. As in, Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua were both undefeated at the time, both very early on in their career. But of course, Anthony Joshua, he's an Olympic gold medalist. Joe Joyce, Olympic silver medalist. Okay, but there are certain comparisons, that's for sure. But Anthony Joshua, he was already vastly becoming a bit of a superstar. And Dillian Whyte sold the heck out of that show. He really did. He played the role of the villain, that is for sure. Now, with these guys, with Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce, not exactly, as I said before, extroverted characters. These guys are very much a case of, I don't really want to be here at the press conference. I don't really like you putting a camera in my face. I'd rather just go to the gym, work out, and then we'll see what happens on the night. That's kind of how they are. Now, I'm pretty sure that Frank Warren told Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce, and of course Sam Jones will just be Sam Jones, do something at the press conference, which ultimately these guys did. And thankfully, you got the likes of John Rawling, who sat there, didn't say too much. That's very, very good for the production. Now, where a lot of people say that this is not going to be or shouldn't be a pay-per-view fight because there isn't a world title on the line, these guys are both prospects. Well, I think that the sales of the tickets already is showing you that it is a pay-per-view worthy fight. It really is, because people are interested in it. People are talking about it. There's a buzz around this fight. 9,500. Listen, if this was a Eddie Hearn Matchroom Boxing Sky Sports show, okay, cool. Fair enough. That would just be standard procedure, right? But this is a Frank Warren show. And I don't mean to belittle anything that Frank Warren does. Not at all. That's not my intention. But the numbers don't lie. This show, 9,500 tickets already, is fantastic. This is fantastic news for Frank Warren, for Daniel Dubois, and of course, Joe Joyce. Now, no idea what the undercard is going to feature. No idea whatsoever. I mean, I would imagine we're going to have a guy that I really, really like in Troy Williamson, the Trojan. Hopefully he'll be on there. Sonny Edwards, of course, maybe he should be on there. And a few names like that. Because Frank Warren, of course, he has lost, of course, Billy Joe Saunders. He has lost Josh Warrington. Yesterday already, he's officially confirmed. And of course, Tyson Fury, he's out there in America now. O'Hara Davis seems to have been pushed to the side now. He's having to fight through a MTK global contract kind of tournament style now as well. So I don't really know what's going on. Of course, Frank Warren, Zanani Tete, he lost the world title, and just things like that. Things haven't been going great for Frank Warren, but this one could be the one that grabs Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions by the scruff of the neck and drags it firmly into the 21st century. This could be the one that really puts his brand, his network, at the forefront of a lot of boxing minds. And hopefully it does. Hopefully it does, because for me, the more shows that Frank Warren puts on, the better quality and all that kind of thing, the better it is for boxing as a whole. What we don't want is one platform holding the monopoly. I've spoken about this in like a previous video and that as well. But I like the fact that Frank Warren has put on this show. I was a little bit apprehensive about him doing it because ultimately one of these guys are going to have to take a loss, which is not ideal for either one of them, is it? Daniel Dubois, yes, he could build up from it. Of course, he's still young enough. Joe Joyce. But there again, I mean, I suppose it depends on how it ends and how the fight goes. But either way, all that aside, 9,500 tickets sold already. That is pretty good. Pretty good. I'm actually impressed. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.